Hello, this is your video for Wednesday, the 30th of September, last day of the month, 30 days as September, 30th of the 9th, 20, XXX 30, IX 9, XX 20, Roman numerals. Our LC for today is, can I multiply 3 digits by 2 digits? Following on from yesterday, 2 digits by 2 digits, and if you picked up that skill of placing the zero down, you will have success with this today. Some warm-up questions coming up for you. Pause the video for as long as you need to. "12 times 4 is 48. Could you use that fact to maybe work out the answer to question 2 without using any sort of written calculation? Well, if 12 times 4 is 48, then 12 times 4t is going to be 10 times larger than that, which is 480. Question 3, 206 times 3 is 618. Again, could you use that fact to help you with the answer to question 4? 206 times 300 is 61,800. So that answer is going to be 100 times larger than the previous answer. Calculation is a 3-digit number multiplied by a 2-digit number. So there is no difference in terms of a different strategy per se for this. It's just simply working with larger numbers. Again, crucial to everything is the placement of that zero. So let's work through it. Step 1 is 132 multiplied by 3. So we're going to find 3 groups of 132. 3 groups of 2 is 6. 3 groups of 3 is 9. 3 groups of 1 is 3. First row completed. Next, can you remember what the next step is? Well, now that we've multiplied everything by 3, we're now going to multiply everything by 20. First step, place a 0 down. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 groups of 3, 6. 2 groups of 1, 2. Finally, add them all together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 4 is 13. So we place the 3 down and we carry over the 1. And the reason for that is because we're going to exchange 10 of those 10s for 1 of those hundreds. Same again. 3 plus 6 is 9. Plus the 1 underneath gives us 10. So 0 in the box. And the 1 underneath, we've exchanged 10 of those hundreds for 1 of those thousands. And finally, 0 plus 2 is 2. Plus 1 gives us our answer of 3,036. Next calculation, have a think. We're going to find 2 groups of 326 firstly. 2 times 6 is 12, so 2 down, we carry over the 1. We're exchanging 10 ones for 1 10. 2 groups of 2. 2 times 2 is 4, but there's another one that we needed to add on, so that's 5. 2 groups of 3 is 6. Now we've done the first row. Now the next step. We're going to multiply 326 times 30. So we're going to find 30 groups of 326. Remember though, what do we need first before we multiply anything? A 0. To show that our answer is now going to be 10 times larger. 3 times 6 is 18. 8 down. Carry the 1. We're exchanging 10 of those 10s for 1 of those hundreds. 3 times 2, 3 groups of 2 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. And finally, 3 groups of 3, 9. Lastly, add them all together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 8 is 13. Carry the 1 because we're exchanging 10 10s for 100. 7 plus 6 is 13, but there's 1 underneath that we needed to add on, gives us 14. And finally, 0 plus 9 is 9, plus the 1 underneath gives us 10. And the reason why we place that 1 up in the box at the end is because there's nothing else left to multiply, which gives us our answer of 10,432. Have a go at questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. You can rewind back to see the strategy as much as you need to before you move on. Dora, Alex and Teddy have worked out 248 times 21. Dora's got an answer, Alex has an answer, and Teddy has an answer. The question is, how can we use estimating to help us check who is correct? We know our calculation is 248 times 21. We could use rounding here. So now we have a calculation of 250 multiplied by 20. That's not going to give us the exact answer, but it's going to give us an estimated answer. And please remember, an estimation is not a guess. An estimation is a close idea. We know that 25 times 2 is 50. We can use this fact to help us out. For example, if we know that 25 times 2 is 50, we know that 250 times 2 is 500. From this fact, we can also deduct that 250 times 20 is 5,000, and so on. So our closest answer is going to be Alex, with 5,208. Estimate each side of the equation and write less than, greater than, or equal to complete the statement. Have a think. We can use rounding to help us here. So going to round to 200 times 20, which gives us 4,000. Now you can use a written calculation for that. But if you know that 2 times 2 is 4, and 20 times 2 is 40, and 20 times 20 is 400, then you might know that 200 times 20 is 4,000. You may not necessarily need a written calculation for that. Here we're going to round 112 to 110 and round 63 to 60. Gives us an answer of 6,600. If you know that 11 times 6 is 66, you might know that 110 times 6 is 660. And therefore, using that information, you might go one step further and deduct that 110 times 60 is 6,600. All of this without calculation on paper. So it's less than. Mo orders muffins for a party. He orders 12 of box A, 20 of box B, and 14 of box C. How many muffins does Mo order? Well, if he orders 12 of box A, and there's only 1 in each box, then our calculation is 12 times 1, which is 12. If he orders 20 of box B, well, if we know that 2 times 1 is 2, and 20 times 1 is 20, then 20 times 10 must be 200. If he orders 14 of box C, there are 12 in each box of box C, so our calculation is 14 times 12. If we know that 14 times 2 is 28, and 14 times 10 is 140, we can add them together to get 168. So what we did there was partition 12 into 10 and 2, and then put them back together. Finally, add them all up. 200 plus 168 plus 12 gives us 380. Now the next question is, if we know that he ordered 380 and that each muffin costs 24 pence, the question is, How much does Mo spend on muffins? Our calculation will be 380 muffins multiplied by 24 pence. We're going to firstly multiply 380 times 4. Well, 4 times 0 is 0. That's a crucial fact, that. Whenever you multiply a number by 0, the answer will always be 0. 4 times 8 is 32. So place the 2 down, carry the 3. We're going to exchange 30 of those 10s for 3 of those 100s. 4 times 3 is 12, but we needed to add 3 on. Gives us 15. Next step. We're going to now multiply 380 by 20. Firstly, place a 0 down. Then, 2 times 0 is 0. Remember, when you multiply a number by 0, the answer will be 0. 2 times 8 is 16. And finally, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Finally, add them all up together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 6 plus 5 is 11. We exchange 10 of those hundreds for 1 of those thousands. 1 down. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 1 underneath is 9. Gives us our answer of 9,120 pence. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really carry around 9,120 pence with me. I might carry her in pounds. So let's do a conversion. We know that 100 pence equals £1. So in order to convert, we need to divide by 100. So 9,120 divided by 100. Now you may think that you need a bus stop method for dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000, but you really don't. You need to know your place value, and a place value chart can really help with this. So I always say if you multiply, divide by 10, 100 or 1,000, then the digits jump. 2 places when dividing by 100. And there we have it. The decimal point never moves. £91.20. That's a lot of money on muffins. Have a go at the remaining questions on the worksheet. Your answers are to follow, and you can pause whenever